When traveling, you could stay at another boring hotel. Or you could stay here. Now, everyday people are transforming their homes and renting them out to total strangers, offering travelers unique and creative places to stay. The short-term rental trend is global, and despite some criticism, it's here to stay. I renovate and flip houses for a living. Creativity is in my bones, and my job depends on me thinking outside the box. Ever wonder what it's like to live in 500 square feet? Tiny living is here, and short-term rentals are a great way to take it for a test drive. I'll be seeing a tiny family home on wheels that was completely handcrafted by the owners.
So when we first started, we thought, oh, it'll only take us 3 months to build it. We're like, we've got this. We're going to be living in it by winter.
Then imagine curling up in a sweet, rustic mini cabin with twinkle and a view.
Oh my God, it's gorgeous. That blue water, that's spectacular.
And I'll check out a garage that has been transformed into so much more.
What a great space. I would never have imagined this was inside what looks like a regular garage.
The average home in North America has sprawled to over 2,000 square feet. The tiny house movement challenges these large footprints and the concept of consumerism. Short-term vacation rentals are a way for the average person to try out smaller than average living.
I think travelers are drawn to tiny homes just because they are so different than their normal existence today. Most people are living in big homes, and they really want to see if they could actually cram all of their stuff and belongings in such a tiny existence.
Vacationing in a tiny home lets people sample the innovative design necessary for living little. Scaled-down living also opens up the possibility of homes to be located and sometimes transported almost anywhere, like remote forests or beaches. Small-size homes prove that living little doesn't have to be a sacrifice.
Now this is what I think of when I imagine tiny living. It's just 160 square feet. It's wooden and built entirely by hand. I can't wait to get inside. It sounds so cute.
After traveling and living in a trailer, Kat and Matt realized they loved life in close quarters. Once they returned home, they decided to keep the intimacy and build a tiny off-grid home on a trailer. With a bit of research and a lot of hard work, these two made a small home with lots of love. They wanted to share their beloved trailer with others, so they opened their doors to the short-term rental market.
Hey, guys.
Hey!
Hey. Now, I had an idea this was going to be cute, but I had no clue it was going to be this gorgeous.
Thank you.
Wow, I can't believe you built this whole place by hand.
It's a lot of work.
Yes. So why did you choose to kind of, A, pick tiny, and then also to build it yourself? Like, what was kind of behind that decision?
We just got really excited about the idea of having a house that we can move. We also really wanted to create something that was ours, like something built with our own hands, with our love, our labor.
I'm just fascinated that you took this on. You know, like, I'm very hands-on myself.
Yeah.
But, you know, I have a team of people that help me, and I'm also working with existing structures. You had nothing, right? Talk me through the beginning. How did you start?
So when we first started, we thought, oh, it'll only take us 3 months to build it. We're like, 3 months, we've got this. We're going to be living in it by winter. That was not true. It took us a year to build. It was a lot of energy, sort of learning all of these new things. And especially in a small space, like, there was no real blueprint to say, like, this is how a normal house is built, and this is how you build a tiny house.
You lived here with your family for several years, right?
Yeah, so there was 3 of us for...
Just over 3 years.
And then 4 of us.
4 of you?
And then 4 of us.
With a baby?
With a baby.
Wow, that's brave.
Yeah.
How was that? I mean, in some ways, that must have given you such a kind of intimate family experience.
Yeah, we lived in a 54-square-foot camper before we moved in here. So this was an upgrade in space, but it's a pressure cooker for a relationship. Like, you figure out if you are well-suited for each other or not very quickly.
Okay.
This property was built by hand by the owner, which really means it was, cared for. Every inch has its own details brought to it by its creator. So I think it's a really interesting plus for most properties that they're one of a kind, they're extremely unique, and I think most travelers enjoy that.
Oh, wow, guys. There is so much to take in here. Tell me about how the space is organized. How are the areas broken down?
We have 2 lofts. There's a larger loft that we were sleeping in. There's a smaller loft on the other side of the house that my daughter is sleeping in.
This is your living room or your reading nook, and the couch also turns into a bed. And then we move into here, and this is our dining area or computer room because we have a Murphy table that folds up and we have chairs in the other room that come in. And then you've got your kitchen and then our bathroom. The bathroom is one of my favorite rooms. One, because I love that we have a composting toilet. And then we have this really great tub, which I love so much. This big, deep soaker tub that is a horse trough.
Wow, a horse trough.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah, and so another thing was we wanted lots of storage. So all of the steps have, you know, cubbies in them. That's so brilliant, right? All of our ceilings have storage like in that drops down, and both lofts have storage drawers in the floors. So it's like having your dresser in your floor. And underneath the stairs, which is, you know, usually dead space, we have a closet underneath there, plus our water and our water tank, and all of our batteries are underneath our couch. So.
Oh, wow, cool. So are you guys off-grid here, or you are?
Yeah.
So how are you powered?
It's a solar-powered house, so there's actually a battery bank underneath the couch. There's a charge controller, an AC inverter, so we have regular plug outlets, and then a solar array outside, which is detached from the house.
Okay, and then what about your water supply? Where's that coming from?
So they're on a well on this property, and so we had a line put in, and then our plumbing inside functions like a regular house. Now, because we are in cold weather half of the year, we sort of have to let our guests know, like, just so you know, part of the experience is the heater might turn off, or, you know, the water might freeze, or the hot water might not work. So things like that. Yeah. And it's great because people are actually really receptive because they know they're coming for an off-grid home, and they're coming for that experience.
It's kind of part of the charm, I guess, really. You know, you're getting that rustic experience.
Staying in a tiny home is a great way for someone to find out if it's actually the way that they want to live. It's a perfect way to dip your toe into the tiny house movement without actually having your own tiny home.
Oh, the fresh air out here.
I know, it's
It's
great.
lovely. I don't think I'd ever get bored of this.
You can't get bored of this. It's really stunning. And that's actually the great thing about having so many windows in our tiny house is we have the best view. A lot of our windows we actually found while we were still living on the road. And so we actually built a lot of the house around the unique shaped windows that you see inside.
I love that approach. Design the house around some of those windows versus having the house and then having custom windows made.
That's right.
What do you think is the biggest kind of takeaway from tiny living? What is it that you guys love about small spaces?
I love the small space for a few reasons. Economically, it was affordable for us to build our own house this way. And environmentally, we were able to build it using a lot of reclaimed materials. We got to get creative with our space in terms of organizing how it would be laid out.
And how does tiny living affect the family dynamic?
I've really loved living in a small space with my family because it creates a lot of intimacy. And there isn't space to be upset and stay upset with people. There aren't different corners of the house to go to. You know, you're resolving things. And our time together is spent together. For some people, that would be like, no way, right? But for us, it was really, I really enjoyed that closeness.
Guys, I really love what you've done here. Thank you so much for showing me around.
Oh, thanks so much for coming.
The story behind this rental is fascinating and inspiring. Their love for tiny eco-living is contagious. Transforming it into a short-term rental has given them an outlet to share not only what they built, but also their approach and philosophy to tiny living. In terms of design, it's clever. The multiple windows add a sense of space. There's a creative use of storage, and the whimsical finishes are all components that make this home functional and completely unique. I think it works as a short-term rental because it gives guests a unique chance to live in a handmade property, to try tiny living, and to enjoy this warm and charming home. Downsizing your life into a tiny space is a massive shift for most people. What better way to see if it's right for you than trying it out on vacation? If you want to get way off the grid and see some super smart storage ideas, Cat and Matt's micro-family home can't be beaten. And if you want to get out of town but into a cozy cabin, the next property is sure to make you swoon. This 250 square foot cabin in the woods has been nicknamed Cupid's Cabin. 10 marriage proposals have been accepted in this romantic, tiny home that has guests posting gushing reviews. Nestled in the woods, this rustic cabin sits on a 15-acre property, complete with a private pond.
So this beautiful property is secluded, and that's why people are going to be coming to this property. You can tell people are coming here for a romantic getaway. It's sort of like camping, but, you know, upgraded. Quintessential glamping, I would call it.
Hey, Bill.
Hi, Katie. It's a cold day today, isn't it?
It is so cold. Did you just put a log on the fire?
Just one more, just to keep us warm.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Walk up through the forest, it's so beautiful.
It kind of decompresses you, doesn't it, when you come down here?
It's spectacular. It's so kind of isolated and secluded here. It's a gorgeous setting.
The first time I walked down these trees and I came around the bend and saw the cabin, I knew right then I needed to have this property.
This cabin is gorgeous. It's tiny, but it's set in such a great space. Tell me more about how this cabin kind of was built.
So the previous owner built this cabin for his daughters as a playhouse.
Oh, my goodness. What an impressive playhouse. Wow, I think I had some boxes in my back garden. I think I need to have a chat with my dad about what went wrong there.
Right.
How big is the property?
So in total, the property is 15 acres, but originally it was 100 acres.
Wow.
So when they wanted to sever this 100-acre property, the ordinances said there was too many square feet under roof. So that owner needed to take down a barn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so all the reclaimed materials from the barn, some of them were used for this building.
So that's great, though, right? You know, it's sort of sad to have to lose a building, but then great to be able to kind of reclaim that material and reuse it and then build what is such a kind of romantic, cute little space.
Yes.
I think that's an interesting thing.
This one piece will make 52 layers.
Watch on mobile devices or the big screen. All for free. No subscription required.
So you market this property as off-grid. What are the elements here that make it an eco-property?
Well, when you want to decompress, one of the first things is not to always be looking at your phone. So there's not any Wi-Fi connection down here whatsoever, and even cell reception is very poor.
So they can really unplug.
100%. We also have a wood-burning stove, so people can actually chop their own little kindling, build a little fire for those days when there's maybe no heat anymore. There's no running water. There is a toilet, though, that doesn't use water. It uses peat moss, so it's a compost toilet.
So they're showering and washing in the pond, or?
They can, or the house is actually 2 minutes away, walking.
Okay.
So there's a full bathroom facility up in the
Okay, so you open
house.
up your house to guests if they need to use those
Shared
facilities?
kitchen, yeah, 100%.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's
so
amazing.
it's almost, this is like a satellite and the mothership is up there.
Ah, that's a nice way of putting it. What are the kind of elements to hosting that you think are the most important?
It's setting the environment, very important. We're so visual nowadays. Everybody's on social media and they're liking pictures and so forth. So that's what draws people here. So you need to have something different, authentic. That's the key thing.
It's such a small space to work with. It's hard to kind of design within tight spaces.
Yes.
But you've done it really well here. Like, there
Thank you.
seems to be everything that you would need.
So I've never done well in school, but I've been gifted a couple of things. One is spatial awareness. Even though it's small, you still want to have little areas where if you're a couple here and you want to do separate things, but being in the same room, you could still do that. So we have a nice little area here to do puzzles, as well as you can have your candlelight dinner. In behind us is where we entered. There's a small bathroom, there's a microwave, a little kitchenette as well. And upstairs is a bedroom in a loft-style area overlooking the pond.
Wow.
So the pond that's frozen right now is a natural pond. So it's a water table pond.
What does it look like in the summer?
Here's a deck of cards with the cabin.
Oh, my God, you had cards made. That's very cool. Oh, my God, it's gorgeous. The color of the water. That's
Blue clay.
spectacular.
The previous owner had it dredged out, and when you dredge out to the blue clay reflects, and that's why it looks magical like that.
Wow, it is magical. Magical is completely the right word. You know, within this kind of secluded setting, it's such a great escape. I can see why people are kind of proposing to each other. I love that you had cards printed. That's a really cool idea.
I think tiny living appeals to people because there's a simplicity about it. They can unplug, be quiet when there's so much hustle and bustle in ordinary life. Tiny living allows you to have that calm.
Bill, what an incredible space. It's so cozy and romantic up here. I love it.
A lot of memories are made here.
I bet. The twinkle lights, it's a nice touch, but you've kept it really simple in here, which I appreciate. And I think it kind of goes along with the theme of this space. You know, it's sort of tiny living and bringing it back to the basics.
Yes.
I think you've created not only a really special, tiny space, but also you're giving your guests a really unique experience in everything that's outside of this space.
It's just a great place to relax, unwind, and just be with the person you love.
Yeah. Thank you so much for showing me around. This has been a really great experience.
Thanks for coming. It's been a pleasure.
This space is small but perfectly formed. It just goes to show that tiny living can have a big impact when it's done well. Beyond the space itself, the isolation here is alluring. It offers an escape from people, noise, and distractions. It encourages you to go back to basics, which is great for an intimate stay. I'm sure the sense of privacy is a big factor in why there have been so many proposals. Cupid's cabin works as a rental because Bill has created a special space for a special type of stay. The intimacy of the place and the romance of the location work perfectly together to create a unique and memorable rental experience. While living large on vacation is for some, others want to simplify and streamline. Travelers looking to get off-grid may choose a sweet little handcrafted home with heart crammed into every inch, or a rustic eco cabin to stay close and cozy. While those looking for a more urban stay can discover the hidden luxury of an unassuming backyard garage.
Not all tiny homes have to be in remote destinations. They can be in all of our cities and urban destinations as well. So this is really about better utilization of space and not just about where the location of this space is.
This underutilized garage has been transformed into a tiny laneway home with its own soaker tub. Vacationing in a small home is often completely different from a hotel stay. But here, in this property, they have combined tiny living with luxe flair.
When Brendan and Elaine retired, they wanted to keep generating income. They converted their unused 2-car garage into a 500-square-foot short-term rental space. For them, small wouldn't mean sacrifice. The space is tiny but contemporary, highly functional, and oozing with luxurious touches.
Hey, guys.
Hey, hi.
Hi, Katie. What a great space. I would never have imagined this was inside what looks like a regular garage. It must have taken a lot of work to get it to look like this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, many months, really.
Well, it's a pretty big renovation. Talk to me about what this place looked like before. I'm guessing it was an unused garage.
Yeah, so it was a 2-car garage, and when we moved in here, we didn't even have a car.
Right.
So we had bicycles and strollers and children's wheeled conveyances, and then a lot of just stuff. Brendan was nearly retiring, and we thought, well, this would be a great way of financing his retirement.
And we both have parents from out of town, so when they come, they stay here.
Perfect. So it's kind of like a nanny suite or
That's
an
right.
in-law suite at the same time.
And doing the short-term rental allows us the freedom to have them come and stay. Whereas if we just rented it, then they'd be on an inflatable in the living room, or we would.
Yeah. I think it was brave of you to sort of turn an unused storage space into a moneymaker.
Oh, exactly. And beyond our wildest dreams. We listed it as a short-term rental on a Friday, and by Monday, we had 20 bookings. And it was my phone was going beep, beep, beep all weekend.
Well, I think what's really impressive here is how light and bright it is. Once you're inside, you would never know this was a garage.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me kind of about the floor plan. How big is the space? How's the space split up?
Well, I think it's just a typical 2-car garage. It's about between 500 and 600 square feet. And what we did to maximize the space is we had the bathroom, and then we built the sleeping loft on top. The highest point in the loft, you can stand up, but most of the time you're just going to crawl upstairs and roll into bed.
I think it's a very smart use of space. They don't need to be jumping up and down in a bedroom. You're laying down, and at least then you've got a full-size mattress in that space.
Right.
Did you have a real clear vision for designing this space?
We both had things that were really important to us that we wanted for sure to happen. I was insistent there'd be a full-size stove, dishwasher, full-size everything in the kitchen. Brendan was really insistent on the jet tub in the bathroom. He was like, we have to have.
It's a big selling point. I knew it would be.
Yeah, and also really unusual. In a small space, you think of having everything be compact. I love that you made those choices.
I come from a background of cooking and used to work in kitchens, so I immediately thought, what would I want to have? And one of the things was a plug in the island, because I imagined people using a food processor, and I imagined myself stepping over a cord, but I don't think anybody's used it, but it was something that I wanted. Plus, I think one of these days we might live in here.
Well, that was it. Everything was sort of, this is our retirement plan.
Yeah.
So this is going to be our house.
Okay.
Once
So
the kids have left.
we thought about ourselves. And,
Yeah. There's gorgeous artwork dotted around here. Where did you find that?
The artist is actually my father.
Oh.
He's a retired teacher, and he started painting. People that stay here always mention the paintings.
I think it's really nice that we have those kind of handmade family elements in here. And it adds such a great pop of color. So what makes you guys stand out in terms of your hosting and welcoming guests?
When people tell us that they're here for a special event, we really like to try and acknowledge that. So if it's a birthday, we'll get the cupcakes.
It's about the extras.
This is such a great alternative to a kind of a luxury hotel stay. I mean, you've got everything you can need here. You've really kind of focused on good finish, quality renovations, and I think that's why you're attracting so many visitors. So I'm dying to see this luxury washroom. Can we take a look?
Yeah, be our guest.
Oh, wow. Guys, you were not exaggerating. This space is gorgeous.
Pretty cool,
Isn't
huh?
it beautiful?
I cannot believe how big this is. You said this was a really important component for you. Why was that?
It's like the luxury part of it, and I pushed for the soaker tub because I just thought that's what people would make a big deal about.
That was the first thing we settled on. We bought this before, like, any other appliance.
It's amazing that you've been able to fit this in, and it doesn't sacrifice the main living space. So I think that was a wise and smart choice, and it's a great wow factor.
Once we decided that we were going to have a bed loft and that the bathroom would be underneath it, it allowed us to have this big bathroom. And we're using this not just, obviously, for the tub and the shower and the toilet, but there's a closet here, and that's where you keep your clothes. And so this becomes like a dressing room.
So you kind of kept this big open space so that
Exactly.
people can move.
Yeah.
I noticed there's a barn door as the kind of entry point in.
Well, that's just practical because otherwise you need to make room for it to swing. So this is a really great way of being able to close the door. Obviously, you want to do that, but also maximize the space in the other room.
I'm just noticing as well that you've continued these gorgeous floors the whole way through the space, which just gives a greater sense of space. It kind of, makes everything feel bigger.
Yeah, and laminate's come a long way since I was a kid. I mean, this looks beautiful, it's wood, but it's also practical because it can take being wet, right? And if it does get damaged, you can just peel up a board and stick another one in.
Yeah, so I love anything that's kind of durable and practical, and like you say, easy to replace if you need to. I'm so impressed with what you've done here. It's a tiny space, but it feels spacious and luxurious. Thank you for showing me around.
Well, thank you for coming.
This space epitomizes tiny living. I'm so impressed that they had the vision to convert this two-car garage into a short-term rental. The floor plan was well designed, and they made smart choices to maximize the space. It's impressive that they've been able to fit a full kitchen and spa bath into this modest space. This makes their rental functional and impactful. They share a passion for hosting and ensure their guests have a 5-star experience. I really like this space. It feels like a private luxury escape where guests can experience high-end tiny living. These 3 homeowners have created small spaces that have big impact. At Cat and Matt's, we saw an impressive, completely hand-built home set in a spectacular rural paradise. I was blown away by their creativity and inventive use of space. At Bill's Cabin in the Woods, I saw a back-to-basics, romantic gem that celebrates simplicity and the great outdoors. It was 250 square feet of unique space with loads of rustic charm and an incredible vista. Then, back in the city, I saw a surprising garage conversion, flooded with loads of light, modern decor, and a creative layout. This was a well-designed, luxurious rental showing us another side to tiny living. What made all 3 properties exceptional were the handmade elements and special touches these homeowners added to make each property stand out and provide guests with a truly unique experience. Whether you're looking for rustic, urban, or whimsical, there are so many small homes available for renters looking to try tiny living.